Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of widget tricks. Basically in this video we are going to use Shorebird, which is basically a code push in Flutter. So my name is Burhanuddin Rashid. I'm a software engineer and I'm also a Google developer expert in Dart and Flutter.
Hi, I'm Sanni Prasad and I work at software engineer at HDFC and I also manage Flutter Ahmedabad community, and I do not know anything about Shorebird.
Okay.
Yeah.
So cool. I think first, I'll just open up the Shorebird here, and what we are going to do is I already have an app called What to Do, and this is the same app which we used in previous video to deploy our iOS and app on test flight. So if you are interested, just check that video. We use Fastlane to do that. So we are going to use the same app to deploy Shorebird on it. What we are trying to do is we trying to do this on a real device, not on an emulator. So we try to be as much as real as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'll just showcase my app here. So this is my Android device, and I'll just go to the Play Store here. And as you can see that the latest version we have here is 2.0.2, which is not like the last version we have, which doesn't have anything Shorebird or anything. It's just that normal how we deploy the app. So if we go to the Play Store, I have this app and I'll just install it. So this basically is the current version which we have on both App Store and the Play Store. So yeah, I'll just wait for it to get installed. And I'm doing the Android part of it, and Sunny will be showcasing that on iOS on test flight. So that just want to make sure that we are doing this on a real thing and not just doing on not faking it. So this is the app which we installed, and then if I go to here, I'll just see that it's a 0.0.2 version which we here, which is deployed from the Play Store. So we are downloading this app from the Play Store. So yeah. And if Sunny can showcase on the iOS one, then
this is test flight, and I have installed 202 build 8, and in the app also we can check the version 202.
Okay.
So it is installed on the real iPhone, so that we can say that it really works or not.
We purchased iPhone for just demonstrating this purpose. So. Just kidding, we didn't buy any iPhone for this. So
okay. Prediction.
Okay, cool. So what we are going to do is we are going to first go to the Shorebird website, and just to give about more of an introduction is let me just go to the website and see if what it shows. Meanwhile, in our local we are using Flutter version 3.2.4. Cool. So I am just opening the Shorebird website. I don't know why my internet is slow today, but yeah.
So while it loads, let's talk about why. Why do we even want to add a new thing in our app?
So unlike web applications, you can directly, if you have any bug, like you deploy something on a web, and if you have any issue, you can directly make that changes and push to that server, and next time anyone refresh it, it will get the fixes on their app. But mobile app doesn't work that way. You have to build your app, then you have to upload that artifacts on App Store and Play Store, and then they will review it, and then it goes to the user hand. And nowadays review takes a lot of time, and it consumes a lot of time. So everyone knows how the review process goes. So and since now you might have some minor, say if you push something on Friday and you have some critical bug or critical bug and you want to fix it, then you have to go through that whole process, and it might affect some of your users. So rather than going through that Play Store, there is a thing called there is a thing called CodePush, and this CodePush is nothing new. It's came from React Native side, where in React Native they use JavaScript. So what they could do is they can directly on fly can fetch the new JavaScript file from the server, and then they can load into that devices. So that way it's similarly work kind of on a web app, but not actual web app. So you can have those CodePush on the fly. And when Flutter was released, this was one of the most asked feature, that can we do the CodePush. But at that time, and I think now also, the current Flutter team at Google doesn't have this as on a priority list. They don't want to work on this thing. And there are several reasons. So yeah. So what, like, the Shorebird, I think this basically found by the previous the person who found the Flutter, Eric, who was the initial part of the team, and then he knew that this is something people like the developer really wants, so he created his own company where you called Shorebird, and then you use this technology to basically fix things on the fly. But they recommend that
it's like those last minute emergency P0s, critical bug fixes that you have to do on the Sunday night. Those things. Quickly fix something on prod.
Yeah, because they also recommend that because if you try to change anything on fly, which might violate some of the both store policies, so you don't want to do it. So Shorebird also recommend that you just use as hot fixes and patches, and whenever that is like been rolled out to your user, you also create this artifact and published on the both store as well. So that also goes to the review process, and your app doesn't get rejected, and you don't also violate any policies on those store. So it's also follow all the policy which are required on the Play Store. So Play Store and App Store. So I think it's pretty much safe to use it. So now I think we have pretty much clear idea for it. I think we can get started on it. Enough of a backstory, and let's just started on that. So I'll just go here on get started. So it goes to the console. I'll just go to the dock here. So I think we are going to play around with the terminal a lot compared to like the code. So we are not going to do much code changes, but more of a build process and how that thing works. So the first thing is that you need to sign up. So here I think where do I go? Here is the Shorebird console, and then here you need to sign up. So I have already signed up with my account, Gmail account. You can sign up with anything else, and you can see all your app listing it here. So you have to first sign up that, and then you have to install this Shorebird CLI on your local. Since we are going to deploy everything from local, we are not doing anything on CI/CD right now. Maybe that for another video. If people show interested, let us know. We might create a different video for CI/CD setup. But for now, we are just doing it locally. We just wanted to set up the Shorebird and see how it works. So you can use this curl basically to install it. I have already installed it. So if you come into my local and if you use Shorebird version, it shows minus version. It takes this 1.46, it's the Shorebird version, and 3.24.3 is the version which it takes from our local. So Shorebird takes the local version which we have in Flutter, and then it builds your artifact based on that Flutter version. So yeah, that is there. And you can also manually define version, but that is something we can do later. So yeah. So after manually installing, there are manual installing as well. You can clone it, and then you can do Shorebird and all that stuff. Now the first thing we need to check is like Shorebird Doctor, like Flutter Doctor. So I'll do Shorebird Doctor here, and yeah, what is the command? Okay, I don't need a hyphen, so I'll just remove that. Shorebird Doctor. So it's just checking everything if everything is set up correctly. So yeah. So the first command we run usually is Flutter Doctor, like we do it. It's a Shorebird Doctor. So it's just check that everything is set up correctly. So we don't have any issues. So it's just checking the reachability of the API. I think we have a slow internet connection, and it's taking some time. So yeah. So basically the final output should be like Shorebird is up to date, Flutter install is correct, and has access to Google APIs. So So let's just check another command. So basically you create an app, integrate Shorebird, you create an app which we already have. Then you Flutter run it. So yeah, we don't need that. To make Shorebird app run, we need to use init command. So first we need to have this Shorebird init. So let's just try that.
Wait a second. So what was the first command? Does it create the app on Shorebird console?
No, so
okay, no, this is okay.
Yeah, it's just trying to demonstrate that you create an app and how you should set up. So we don't need that because we already have an app on it. So we are just going to go and do an init there. So
okay, then init Shorebird in your own project.
Yeah. So I mean,
init.
Yeah. So it's just checking all the thing. Meanwhile, we can just open a new tab and then we can try Shorebird init. Okay. So you must be logged in. So we are not logged in yet. So I think it's trying to generate the API. So we don't have like logged in. So I guess we need to log in first. So I'll just use, and here is the command. It says Shorebird login. Shorebird login. And I have a Google account, so it's just creating this. And then I'll just choose my email, which I have, so it will just authenticate in my CLI. So yeah, it says welcome to Shorebird. You are now logged in as a credential, and they are saved in here locally. So yeah, I don't know. Let's just try to upgrade if Shorebird can be upgraded quickly. If not, then I'll just skip it. Checking for the update. I think it might take some time. So yeah, I mean it's updated successfully, and I'll just check the version here. So we last time we were waiting to build this whole thing, Flutter thing. Since we updated the version, it was getting a new patch of that Flutter engine in the Shorebird. So if we want to check now, it downloaded all that. So if we want to check Shorebird version, it's 1.4.12, and we have the Flutter 3.24.5 in the Shorebird. So Shorebird is using that version to build that. Now we are going to use Shorebird login. I think the login worked last time, so we are already logged in, so we don't need it. But then what we'll do is we'll do Shorebird init. So that is the command which needs there to build. So yeah, so it's basically we are coming to Shorebird here. It's using the init. It will set up the YAML file, required file, whatever things it needed to do. So how should we refer this app? So I'll just say what to do. Cool. So I'll just give a name. It has created a YAML file and updated as an asset. Now it's basically saying that you can create a new releases using Shorebird release to push and update Shorebird patch, and to preview a release you can use Shorebird preview, and it's up to date, install and manifest file, and permission, and everything is like perfect. So yeah, so if we go to, since we init it will have this YAML file which will include it here. So this basically allowed Shorebird to check the patch version uploaded on their server and which we have in the app, and then try to have a diff, and then whatever patch you upload, it try to show that in the app. And this is basically our ID, and it says that like it could be publicly shared because this is not a secret. It's just like Shorebird uses to identify it. So if you open source it, like if I have an open source project and I push it, I don't have to worry about it, but it is more of a login part which it does it internally. Cool. So we have done Shorebird init, and then in order to create a release, you need to use like Shorebird release command, and you cannot like build an APK or build a release using your Flutter. So there are two ways. One you can do is Flutter build APK. So what this command does is it will build your APK with the framework which you have in your local environment. Correct? So I think maybe I should explain with a diagram. So basically this build with your local Flutter framework, but you don't want to do that. You want to build your APK using a Shorebird's Flutter framework. So basically Shorebird has a fork of the Flutter engine and they keep it updated to the latest stable version. And then you need to upload that artifact on the Play Store. So let me just try to draw it and explain it. Maybe that would help. So this is the main Flutter framework coming from a Google. And when we do a build, what we do is we use this framework to build our Android APK, and we use this to build our IPA for iOS, right? So you build this, and then you upload this artifact to the Play Store, and then you upload this artifact to the App Store, right? So that is how it works. Now in terms of Shorebird, and when you use your Flutter command, like sorry, so when you use your Flutter command like Flutter build APK or anything, it uses this framework from your local. Okay, now in terms of Shorebird, which is the word here, I'm not good at drawing. So this is a Shorebird. In order to make your patch work, what it does is just create a fork of a Flutter in their own repo. So this is the Shorebird Flutter here, which is they have forked it. Now if you run this command, it will build your app using this framework, Flutter framework, which doesn't have that ability to update things on a fly. Now Shorebird, what have done is they have taken this framework, Flutter framework, and have made changes to that framework. So it has a fork version of it, and then building this Flutter framework, you need to build your IPA, APK, and then your IPA, and then use that to upload an App Store and Play Store. So next time, whenever you are doing a release, you always need to use a Shorebird command in order to build your APK and IPA. So far so clear, right? Because if you don't do it by mistake, if you use this Flutter build APK command, then it will basically build your using Google's Flutter framework. So that is why in order to create a release, you need to use Shorebird CLI like and release Android/iOS, and then when they generate this file, both file, use that to upload on the Play Store and App Store. Cool. So this is what we are going to do. So our first step here is to build an APK, an IPA file using Shorebird, and then we'll upload that to our Play Store here and then App Store. And once that is uploaded, what we'll do is we'll create a patch or any bug fixes, and then Shorebird will automatically push that fix to uploaded patches here. Clear? Or is my drawing is really bad?
No, it's good enough.
Okay, cool. As I said earlier, we are not going to do much coding here. We are going to spend a lot of time on building Shorebird APK, Shorebird artifact. So one thing you need to make sure that Shorebird is a wrapper on a Flutter command line. So let's say if you use Flutter build APK, then whatever command line this have would be Shorebird will under the hood use this, but it will use the fork Flutter framework. So one thing you need to make sure that before you run Shorebird release command, you should have an ability to build your APK locally. What I mean is that since we are going to upload on a Play Store, we need a file. We need an artifact bind to our key store which we use for the releases. So here in the Android part, where is the app? So yeah, in the Android I already have this release key store and the property which required to build that. So what I can do is, if I use apk minus release, I can build this apk locally and then upload it to Play Store. So make sure that your local environment is working. Basically, we are able to, I use this command release and I am able to build the APK of the release. So you need to make sure that first you are able to build this locally. And now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use Shorebird release Android. Okay, now it will do its internal thing, extracting and downloading. And what it will do is, it will build this APK and will upload it to its own server. So that's, I think, what should it be happening. So it's building an app bundle with Flutter 3.24.5. So it's using that framework and then building the APK, as I described earlier, that it's using the fork version of Flutter and then building your APK with it. I hope I'm clear or not confusing anything.
It's pretty clear. I have a few questions.
Yeah.
So far, what I understood is we need to have a Flutter version installed in our computer.
Yeah.
Which IDE uses to let me run, compile the development stuff.
Yeah.
And when I want to publish using Shorebird, then I have to use Shorebird's commands to create an APK or IP and put it to store. Right?
Yeah.
So, right. Okay. So Shorebird can create an APK which I can put on Play Store. Also, it can publish the patch, my changes, my bugs, for example, and publish it to everybody.
Yeah.
Without going through Play Store.
Yeah. So you might be wondering that how does it make sure that what has changed, right? Like the App Store is controlling the APK part of it, and how does, like, if I upload something, Shorebird knows that this changes that. So that's why Shorebird have their own cloud server. So this console thing here is basically where they put the artifact which you are updating here, and when you have a new update, it compares this artifact, like whatever changes here, with the current release which the user have downloaded, and they try to have a difference between it. And if they find any difference, it load that Dart code and then have that patch. Maybe my vocabulary is not correct because it's doing some internal stuff to the compiler and the engine, but this is what I understand from the overview. So it's just asking that what to do. You want to create a version, and there is an annotation like semantic versioning, which it follows that it uses the version name here, and then it uses the version code +1. So what it's doing is it's doing 0.0.1 +1. So this is our Flutter build number and version, but we don't want to create a confusion on what is being on the cloud and what is like the App Store version. So I like to keep it consistent with the version which we have. So I think most of the confusion happen with this release process is the version management, like which version is there, which is being patched and which is not being patched and all those stuff. So what I'll do is, instead of having this version, I'll do is Shorebird release. I'll use a build name and build number. So I don't know what the build number is. Maybe I'll try and see which one works. So here I have 2.0.2, right? And I need to check how I build that build number here. So what I'll do is I'll keep this as a 2.0.0.3 because this is the version. This is the new version which we are going to upload on the Play Store. So we make sure that this is the Shorebird version. and then I need to give the build number, which should be the increased value than what we have previously. So here we are using version code coming from it. I need to check on the CI what we did upload last time. So it's a Android. So Android build number is yeah. So it would be something like 203 maybe there. So that is how it is building the number here. Cool. So
right now I have a question. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Right now on Play Store we have a simple Flutter app built using Flutter regular command line.
Yeah.
Regular HTTP.
Yeah.
Now we are trying to compile an APK using Shorebird CLI and put it there. Without it, it will not allow me to do this live or hot push.
Yeah.
Code push, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we are building this. So this will upload the version on their cloud server as well, and we'll get this APK and then upload it to our Play Store as well. Okay. So first let's do with the Android, because I think I find Android is the simplest one, and then we'll try for the iOS one. Okay. So I'll just build this again.
So does it take longer when using this command, or the same time when building APK?
Longer in a sense, building the Android APK?
Yeah, the time it takes to build the APK.
No, so the only time the only time it takes is that when you are running the Shorebird for the first time, it forks the whole Flutter framework which it has on their server, and then that is something which this is like simple stuff. So here we have this version, and then so it took basically 2.0.3 and this. So this is just a Flutter command which we had used previously, but it's just that now it's a wrapper around Shorebird. So whatever Flutter command you used to earlier, parameter, whatever you use, you can basically append them behind the Shorebird CLI. So it will work in the same way. So maybe you have some flavors or something else you are doing it, you can just append those commands behind this, and it will apply to the same APK. So yeah, so we want to create this. So I'll just say yes. And now what we'll do is it will upload this artifact to the cloud, their cloud. So it's more of a waiting thing rather than coding thing. So
we will speed this up.
The power of video editing. So I basically, this version code might be different for you. So here I am building this build number using the naming convention, but it might be different. So you need to check that. But since we are doing locally, we need this because we are doing this locally. But once we move into the CI, it's just that you have to insert somewhere the Shorebird process in between. Maybe we can cover that in some other video, but for now, like, we are doing it local. So yeah. So yeah, 19 minutes of recording didn't happen on my phone, so it's okay. We'll try to patch it up. I think we should have used StreamYard way before this. I think this looks more easy than the Zoom one.
I do not know whether this will be full quality, full HD. 720 was written there, but if the local recording, I mean this local file, some option, if that gives full quality, then we can merge both our.
I think for faces, outputs. I think screen recording is happening on my PC, though that's fine. So we can have a good quality there. like the faces which we have in the StreamYard for 720p, it's more than enough because it would be a small thing. So yeah, I mean here it says that like you have created the new release, publish release 3.03. Your next step is to upload the app bundle to the Play Store. Okay, so we have to upload this on the Play Store, which we talk about, and then from there onwards, once it's there, it get live, you can basically push any changes. So so if we go to the console here, I'll just close this. If we go to the console here, then you will see, I think, our app coming it in here, or what to do, because it has uploaded the artifact here. So yeah, you can see the what to do app, and if you go inside it, it will just say that we have it for the Android right now, and we're also going to do same for the iOS. So it's the version, this is the version which is being uploaded. So now I'll do is I'll go to Google Play Store, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. So, and here I'll come to this what to do app, and I'll go to the test and release testing. Since we are doing it internally, I'll use this internally. I'll just do create a new release, and I'll just upload whatever we have here. I don't know, it would be in the output bundle release app release. So I'll just go here, build, where is the app output? We don't have bundle, so this is the file. So I guess I don't know, I'll just open this into, open it in Finder, and then I'll come here, I'll just drag and drop. So meanwhile this uploads, let's just also create an IPA file for the iOS itself, so that we can upload both and then we can verify it. Okay, so it's uploading, and now it's done. Now we need to do the same for iOS. So here I'll just use the same command, because we also have the same thing for the iOS, and then I'll just create a release for it.
Sure. While that happens, I had taken a note of a few questions.
Yeah.
So, is it okay to use FVM in my computer while using Shorebird?
I don't know, because
Version.
yeah, so you can use FVM for your local version, but you need to make sure that whatever version you are using, you also provide it to the Shorebird. So currently we haven't provided any version to the Shorebird, it's taking the latest, and my app is also built with the latest version, so it works fine. So if you come to the Shorebird here, I think they have somewhere, yeah, so it's a Flutter version management. So let's say if you have a different version, you can define that version here in the CLI. So let's say FVM, you are using a different version like 3.0.2, or you are using below 3. I don't think it supports below 3, but you can define that version in the CLI, and it will build your app with that version of the fork version of the Shorebird. Okay.
Okay, and it should work, right?
Yeah, yeah.
At the end.
So so currently we are going with the default one. So
Is it done? If not, then we can take another question.
yeah.
Can I upload this APK or AB or IPA to my Firebase distribution?
I don't know. I haven't tried it. I mean, it's a good question. I mean, I haven't tried it. Yeah. So this is the 2.0.3 version. I'll just going with the next, and I'm publishing it. Save and publish. So it will take few seconds to get on to my device. So I'll just wait for it, and then we'll install it on our devices. So meanwhile, I'll just see if it's able to build the IPA. Yeah, Firebase, I don't know, but I think it should work the same way. It's basically, since you have an APK in your local one, whether it's come from a Play Store or Firebase doesn't matter. But it's if it's a release version, I mean, it's the signature is matching with the artifact which they have on their cloud, then I think it should work theoretically, which I'm assuming.
Makes sense. Another question.
Yeah.
Will it break my Firebase analytics or Crashlytics?
So yeah, so I don't think it affect any analytics or anything. I wonder, like, what is the concern behind this question? Like,
So if I'm not sure. So my for Crashlytics specifically, or even for analytics, if I add some code related to analytics, like I am adding one new event for analytics, or I am adding one new function in code, and that function breaks, or if I mean, basically, will Firebase Crashlytics able to, if everything else has been set up perfectly, will the new batch code, new that I write, will it get covered in error coding by Firebase Crashlytics?
okay, so I think if it's a purely Dart code, if it's just a Dart code, then I think it would work. If you add a new event, or if you remove the any old event from the Dart code, it would work. But I think there are two things which they explicitly said that which won't work, is that if you upload a new asset or an image file locally, any asset, it can be JSON file or anything, fonts or anything, and if you try to publish or patch that, it won't work. Because like the framework has an internal, like Flutter framework has an internal mechanism to optimize that. If there is an artifact which is not being used or something like not like that, it will remove from the release. I think it's in Android called shrink resources. I don't know what is that. It's similar to the thing there. So that is there. So that won't work. And another is that if you make changes to your native plugin, then that also won't work. So if you are upgrading your package, which has, let's say, if an analytics have a method channel based on native on Android and iOS, and if you are upgrading a package which has those changes on the native side of it, then it won't get published, even if you are making changes on the Dart code. I hope that makes sense. So any changes happen underlying the what you say native side of it won't work, and anything with asset related won't work. It's just that whatever changes you make in your pure Dart code will only work.
Okay, only Dart is supported.
Yeah, because I have faced this issue, because if you try to change an asset, for example, if you have a logo and there is a bug in a logo, which basically coming from your asset, and if you try to use a different asset, it won't work, because I think it's called pre-shaking, or I don't know, the optimization of the resources will remove the file which is not being used, and if you try to use a new file, it won't work. Yeah. So I think the hack in that case would be that you push a Dart code which fetch an image from somewhere. So that way you can fix that. So I guess fetching required provisional profile, and you aren't sure why this command failed, verbose. So I think this is a common thing, I guess, in iOS. As we said earlier, right, that I should be able to build an IPK first locally. I think we didn't check that. So let's say if I use this release, right? So I should be able to build the IPA. If this works, then there is some problem with the Shorebird thing. But if this doesn't work, then we need to fix that first, that we are able to build IPA locally, and then then I think it should work for the Shorebird as well. So Yeah. So I think it's not working in the build runner because export archive required a provisional profile, and I think this happens because of some export setting. I remember this somewhere, I don't know. You need to create some export file in order to make sure that it works properly. I don't know where I found it.
Can we just open Xcode and select a provisioning profile or set it to automatic or something?
It's already there. So let's say if I
Okay.
just wait it here. So if you go to the target here, for debug it's not there. For release, I think the certificate is there. So for all, yeah, I mean for debug it's fine. For release it's there, automatic signing, and it's not there. I think we did that in the last iOS deploy thing, so it's fine. The problem is with the export option. I think I have faced this similar issue. Yeah. So this is something you need to do. Like you need to create a separate export option file which have all those details, like the bundle ID, the app store, and the provisional details, provisional profile details, where we have the key and string, and then it will upload it. So I think I have already saved there somewhere down here. Yeah. Cool. So I'll do is I'll go to the iOS tab here and create a file called export options.plist. Okay, and I'll add this here. I don't know what it required. So what it does, it defines a method. I'm not sure if you are able to see it. So it defines a method we need for App Store Connect. It's a provisional profile. This is my bundle identifier, and this is the provisional certificate name. Correct? Cool. So, and then we need, in the Flutter command, we need to provide that we need this export option. So this export plist, it will take that as a file and then run it. Can you change the layout? It's just overriding the command line.
Yes. I'm doing that.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Cool. So this is the command. So you provide an additional export option which allow you to build it locally. Okay. So I'll just run this. Okay. So iOS property. Okay. So we are in a iOS folder. So I'll just go out here, and then we'll use this. So I'm using it in the iOS, and here it is in export options. So I'll just do that. So I guess it should work. So yeah, version is there. So we didn't define the version here, so it's just taking the default one and building App Store IPA. Yeah, so basically it works, right? So it takes the optional and then it builds the IP here. So what we are going to do is we're going to use the same command here, and then we replace with the Shorebird. So here I'll use Shorebird, and I think release iOS, and then I guess we need to provide build number here and name. So here it is 2.0.3, which we did same for the Android, and here we are going to use 03 here. Okay, and then I'll just run it. So I use the same export option plist, or which I was using on Flutter command, and then just the same thing. It's just that I use the Shorebird release instead of Flutter build. So it used the same framework there. Any more questions? So we can take that while building it.
Not yet. I think there is some information in the docs about crash analytics. Need to read it, but
Which one? This one?
yeah, crash reporting in the left and here this one. Okay, what does it say?
If you want to follow the crash rating guide, update Firebase init code to include the patch number as a custom key. Oh, so like the crashing. So how do you get that? So Shorebird patch number. You set a custom key. It's more of a identifying the patch crash, I think. So it has nothing to do with. I think it's just using the package, getting the patch number, because you won't get the version. If you try to use a package info package and try to get a version number, it would use this version number which is there. It won't have that patch number. So they are using this package to Flutter CodePush package to get that patch number and pass it here, because let's say if you have 2.0.3 happening crash on that and you fix in plus 203, then in the crash analytics you won't be getting this version. You will always be getting crashes and information from here. So it's very hard to identify whether we fix a crash or not. Hence they are suggesting that you get the patch number and push that as a key here, and you can filter that out in your analytics. So I guess this work, it's fetching app, building API with Flutter, this version, fetching releases, and it basically did, and whatever version number we have provided, it's here. So just keep in mind, just be consistent with the version numbering, so you don't get confused what has been deployed on which side. So I'll just say yes, and yeah, so it will upload the artifact on the server, their server. I think this would become way more simpler if we are doing this on a CI. But I think as I usually say in my effective Flutter dev classes on when I was teaching CI was that whenever you want to do something on a CI, first do it in your local. Until unless you don't understand in your local, you cannot do on a CI. So that's why it's very good to go through this process locally and then do the same thing on the CI. Because I have spent a lot of time doing directly things on a CI, not understanding how it would work in local, and wasted a lot of time. So I'll see if I can get the version from the Play Store. So it's currently 2.0.3, and then I'll just go to the Play Store here, and then so here's an update. I think we are internal release, so I'll just do the update here. So now I guess once it get updated, we'll have the what to do app with the Shorebird version of it. So now I'll just open it, and yeah, I mean it's working. And if I go to the version, it's 2.0.3. So whatever version which we uploaded on the internal test flight, it's there. Okay. So for now, Android is set up for now. Now we'll do for the iOS, and I think you have to check it on the test flight. But once this get uploaded, we'll upload the API file. So let's just go to the App Store Connect. And yeah, let's just go with the test flight I think there should be an option we can directly upload the file, right?
Actually, no. You have to use a tool called transporter in your computer.
Okay.
It, yeah, it transports the app to here.
Okay. If I have the Fastlane set up,
Then also it will work.
but I don't think I have the JSON file here. So, yeah. So
This transport will be faster. You only will need to log in, and that's it.
okay. So let's just use that.
Hmm.
So is there any setup required for it, or like it's an inbuilt Xcode tool?
No, it's not in Xcode. You have to install this from your Apple Store in your computer.
Okay. So what is called?
Transporter.
Transporter. Oh, it's a movie.
App- Apple Transporter is.
This is the one, I guess. This is the one.
This one. Yes.
So you upload the IPA file here.
Yeah, you simply drag and drop and it will let you upload.
Okay. Oh, I've. I didn't know about this. I thought by doing it through the fast lane.
It will still take the same time to cool down. So after you upload the IPA to test flight, it does take 5-6 minutes until it becomes available on your test flight app on iPhone.
Okay. Agree. Sign in. I already did, right? Okay.
Yeah. Now you simply have to drag and drop your app.
So how it will know that in which test flight will go?
I think it detects your bundle ID and directly maps it with whatever you have there on your console.
Okay, you can also run Xcode A tool upload type. Oh, you can also use like the same JSON key. Okay, so basically this published. So if we go here and then I think we refresh it, we'll have both, I think, Android and iOS, because now it has uploaded its own server, the artifact. Now we need to upload it there. So we don't have any patch right now. So also if you want to do it, no, you can like download it from here itself. So it's basically shows the artifacts here. If you want to test it out, you can download artifact from here itself, or you can use the preview version. So what you use is, if you call shorebird.preview, it will download the latest version from there and then install directly APK into a emulator or the devices. Just wanted to show a preview, but since like our internet is very slow, the download will take some time, so we are not going to do this. Let's just upload it on what you say here, transporter. So where is the IPA I can find? It's in the iOS archive. No, so the IP build IPA. So I go to the build, then in iOS, in IPA, I guess this is the IPA. What to do IPA?
Yeah, that one.
Okay, so I'll just open this in Finder. Okay, and then I guess I'll upload it here. just wait for it, right? And
Now you can ask it to deliver it.
okay, so it will upload it. Analyzing and all that stuff. Okay, cool. I didn't know about this. Sending analysis to App Store. Waiting for App Store analysis response. But how it will know to App Store, because my app account is different.
Is it?
Yeah.
Somehow it knows because it is able to fetch app icon.
No, so the app icon is from the local file archive. I guess it will fail, I guess. Because the account which I am using here is different. Huh?
Somehow it worked.
How is it? But maybe I have access to the test flight from this email. So is it able to upload it?
No, I think you have an Apple account
Yeah.
created using this ID, and it has access to that team, Burhanuddin Rashid team.
Maybe
Is
yeah.
able to find it.
Let
Now
me
it
just.
will take 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, so it's there, 203.
So does it have any adverse effect on the App Store analysis or the Play Store analysis? Will they reject your app when you use this?
No. So if there is a patch and bug fixes, it won't, and then you have to upload it on on the Play Store. So that's why they ask that once the release is done. So this is more of an emergency case. Like if the release is done, then make sure that you fix the fix which you have done, or maybe you just added a temporary fix and you found the proper fix. Just do it in the same day or maybe like the next day or something like that, and push it for the review. So that's how like they suggested. So yeah. And since like you cannot deploy native code directly, then I think you are more safer on a policy side from a app review itself, because the major changes you can make, which basically, let's say, add a camera permission or something like that. Like in your older version you weren't having any camera permission, but in the patch version, if you are adding a camera permission, then it won't work, because the camera permission required a native code changes, and the native code changes doesn't work in the Shorebird patch. So it won't like basically, just I'm giving an example, it won't basically violate any policies as such on the Play Store and App Store, because you are not changing any native code, right? Anyway, like if you want to do some changes, you can basically, there are bigger company apps which have a lot of remote config things, A/B testing and a lot of things, right? They can change the flow. They can make a flow where they pass the app review and they can change the flow later on. It doesn't matter. So that is being already done, but this is more of a more faster way of pushing hot fixes. You can do a remote config flow, but you cannot push a patch at that fast pace what CodePush or Shorebird does.
And what is the size cost? Meaning, how much size will get increased when I integrate Shorebird in my APK and IPA?
I haven't checked that, so I think we should check that. I have no idea. But I think it shouldn't be significant size change, because the majority of the size change comes if you change some asset related resources when you push that, and which is already not supported in the Shorebird. So I guess it won't be there.
I somewhere read that it is only 1 MB.
Yeah.
So,
Chat GPT or Cloud AI, where you asked it?
I think in one of the GitHub issues,
Yeah.
it is saying that
Can you share it?
it increases 1 MB.
Just
I
share.
lost it on my browser. Let me check again.
Transporter. Jason Statham's transporter.
Okay. Uh, second. Yes, there is an issue
Yeah.
related to this. I'll share it in the private chat here.
Yeah, so I think it's ready to submit. Can you like share your screen and also make sure like you record the screen so we can use that later.
Yes. I'll share my screen.
Should I stop mine?
Yeah. No, it's not needed.
Oh, I have done it.
Keep.
Oh, I have.
No problem. Share my entire screen. One sec. Test flight. Okay, and there is a new version 203 installing it. It worked.
It worked?
I'm opening it.
Yeah.
And the version information says 203. Yes.
Okay, so there is already issue discussed here. I think people can read it about it, but I don't think there's a significant change. As you mentioned, there's a 1 MB change. So now we have uploaded on both a thing. Now, if you like, I'll just share my app here. Now we need to have a bugs to fix which we can push, right? So we don't have that yet. So how do we do it? So I have an existing bug. I think that's where I get the whole idea of doing it. So it's a 2.0.3 version, and if you see here, there's a big Flutter icon, right? So it should be small, but it's a very big because of some bug. Cool. So this has the same thing on iOS as well. So before we fix this, we'll show that this in iOS as well, and then we'll show the fix. So we have this to fix. Now, fortunately, there is some person who have created this PR already. So there was a bug. This was the bug, and someone told that downscale the Facebook logo in about page. So this was the problem, and they have fixed it, right? So it's a good way to get a community contribution and also using the Shorebird. So and if you go to the changes, it's just that the changes are happening here. It's just scaling down the file. So I think it's good to have that. And what I'll do is I'll just confirm rebase and merge, and then I'll pull that from the master, and then we'll deploy the change. Okay. So I don't know if yeah. So I think I should have pushed this Shorebird thing, but I haven't. So no worries. So it's a G something. Get pull, and if I see here, it's a downscale Facebook logo in about page. So they have pulled that. I'll just commit this as a Shorebird init. So I have this YAML. I'll just add it to the VCS and Shorebird set. Okay, I'll just commit it. And yeah, so I have committed it, and we before we do the patch, we want to make sure that the patch which we have is working. So I'll open the, where is it, terminal, and open -a simulator and see if that works. Okay, so we are just verifying whatever patch we have done is working. So I'll just open the simulator here, and then we'll run our code through it. So this is the iOS one, but just we are verifying is it working or not. So where is the current file? The lib, the main iOS file, and then we cannot run it from here. Terminate. So I'll just use Flutter run command here. So I hope it will run the changes in the latest master, and then it will push it there. So iPhone, Mac OS, I'll just use 2. So it will run. Or if it's taking time, so no, I mean I can't do on an Android device, then I have to install it from the Play Store again. So
it's 5 o'clock.
It's done, and then I guess it should be running. So yeah, it's running, and if we come across here, I think it fixes this. So the Facebook thing is there. Now we need to deploy this on Android first. So I'll just quit this here, and then we need to create that patch. So we'll just go here and see how we can create a patch. So all you need to do is shorebird dot patch Android, and I think it will ask for which patch you want to do, and once that is done, it should work. So as we can see, it's here, and we still have this logo here. Now I'll do is I'll do shorebird, what was the command, patch Android. So we are doing the patch for Android first. So now what it's doing, it will build those changes from my local, and then it will push on their server, and then have a compare here, and we can see the changes here. So I'll do it shorebird patch Android, and it asking for which version you are targeting. So currently we uploaded this version, and we are targeting for this version. So you can target that patch for a different version as well. So let's say if you have a future version where you don't have that feature, so you want to target a version which have that feature, you can do with this, selecting this version. Clear? Yeah. So it's doing its thing, downloading. Yeah, you were asking something?
Yeah. So this means if I have a lot of users, many are stuck in a previous version or are not willing to upgrade.
Yeah.
Because of anything. So I can share separate patches for separate versions so that all my users can be served well.
Yeah, but all those patches, all those versions should be built from Shorebird.
Yeah.
Right. So if you have an old version which is not being built with the Shorebird fork of the Flutter, then it won't work. I think they have a full release flow as well on CI/CD, how you should be doing it, I think. So maybe.
Okay. So is it done or?
Ready to publish. So that is mean they have created this and then uploaded, and we would like to continue, right? So we'll say yes.
Let's see how fast it is.
Yeah. So publish patch 1, right? So if we go here in the console, and then I think we refresh it, so we can see our patch being uploaded, and we can see all the installs. So this is the patch 1 active 16 seconds ago, and it's for Android. Now here, first when you open, so it won't be directly like push on the fly. If you want to do this, then you have to download the Shorebird package and do it manually. But for now, we don't have that. So you have to first load the app where they download the patch, and the second time when you rerun it, it will just fetch that. So we are closing this for now, and I'll open this, and meanwhile it will download the patch in the background. So if we come here and see, it's still not fixed because it's have now downloaded. So when we close it and run it the next time, I think it should have the fix. So now I think it should have the fix. So if we go here and come here, it has the fix, right? So
Magic.
yeah, I think it worked on a first attempt. That itself is a big achievement. So yeah, so if you see, the above version is 2.0.3, and we haven't made anything to the Play Store. We just like did a patch and it worked, right? Now it's time to test for the iOS. But before I do that, I'll just do the release from here, and then we can you can share your screen, and then we can see if that works there. So instead of Android, I'll use the iOS, and it will ask for the
Do you
version.
need to pass the Do you need to pass that export options?
Let's see if it fail. Maybe, yeah, I might need to, right? Yeah, otherwise it won't able to build. So yeah, I think I need to terminate. Okay, so the version was, sorry, Shorebird release. So this was the thing. I need to remove this build number, and then instead of release, I need to use the patch. So I'll use here patch. Nice catch. Else we have to wait again. So
So you were saying something about package that Shorebird provides. What
So-
all functionality does it give you?
yeah. So if we go to the, I think Shorebird push tab. Yeah, so they have this package, and this package allows you to show all the UI element you need to. So for example, like you add as a package, and then you can read the current patch, and you can say this is the current version, and then you can check for update here, and then you check with the patch and the current version, and you can show that, oh, a new version is available, would you like to download it, something like that.
Is it possible to not install the patch through this package?
Not
For example, I so I'm being a bit greedy here. I saw the pricing, and if some apps have very high number of users, and if they want to fix an issue for the few users,
they want to fix an issue for.
for a few users, only a limited number of users. So we can easily do that. I mean, do some flagging using Firebase, and then in this code, is it possible to disallow CodePush?
Yeah, I think that
I
is
think no, not saying anything.
yeah, it's just so in order to, like, they can check on their server, but I'm not sure, like, this is the thing which perform the update. So I think they have two different parameter here. One is download and one is installs. So I guess download would be going to happen anyway, I guess, if there is a patch. Install is it something, the chart shows the number of users who are seeing a patch for the first time, successfully booting the patch. This is the number we are using for billing. And what is the download saying here? This chart shows the number of users who have downloaded a patch. Apps need to be restarted before users see the patches. So this is similar. This number is not the number of users who are running the patch. So I think this is not being charged. I mean, if you have not downloaded it, if you are not running it. So I think the install is the one which is getting charged. So maybe you have downloaded but not updated, but I don't think that support is there. But then if you are saying for some people, how do you define for some people? So you have to have some config coming from the server, right?
Yeah, by using some kind of config.
Yeah, A/B testing something. A/B testing kind of a config, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good question. I think so they have a Discord to have this all those things discussion there. I don't know where was the Discord.
On the top right, there.
Yeah. So they have a Discord, and then you can ask and push that question there. And maybe like we can go through the FAQ. What is different between patch and release? In my country, Shorebird comply with Play Store guidelines. So this was one of your questions. Comply with App Store guidelines. What is the roadmap? Can I self-host Shorebird? So Shorebird self-hosting is not available. So most of the fintech companies are not going to use Shorebird because now you're hosting code on somewhere else server. So it's more of a security issue. So that's why more of a fintech thing are not using it. And if your app have some compliance issue where you cannot host your source code somewhere, then I think you cannot use Shorebird then. With my team organization, the Shorebird store, my source code never see your source code when you run Shorebird release or tool upload compiled app binary that use the app store. Shorebird server never store your source code anytime, but they still have the binaries from my CI system. Yeah, so you can use that. How does the Firebase config or footprint does this add? Does code with a large application, there is no size. What can I use Shorebird push for? Emergency fixes, shipping bugs for the older version of your app, shipping constantly every hour. What can't we use Shorebird code push for? Should not be used to violate App Store policy. Please see below for more information. Also, Shorebird does not support changing native code, Java, Kotlin, Android, Objective-C, iOS. The tool will warn you during the attempt patch if you have changed native code. So yeah, I can use Shorebird for all my Dart changes. Yes, does Shorebird submit to the store for me? Not currently submitting. You have to do it yourself. What does Shorebird updater store disk? What do Shorebird tools store on disk? How does this relate to Flutter hot load? Does Shorebird support Flutter web? There are so many FAQs. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, coming back to the iOS thing, I'll just use yes. So it's uploading artifact, and yeah. So it's published the patch, and if we come here on the console, and if we see patches, I think we will see for the iOS as well. So there's one for the iOS. Now I'm going to stop my screen. And then, or you can share yours directly, and make sure you are recording as well. So we can use that.
Yes. So this is my phone, and the app has been opened. I think it should have been loaded. The patch must have been downloaded, and if I open and see, issue is still there. Let's wait for a second.
Okay.
It was need 500 600 KB of patch.
Sorry?
The patch was 600 KB, I think, when it was showing. Fixed.
Yeah. Congratulations for pushing a hot fix on both Android and iOS in just like, I don't know how much time we took. How much I took? I think 1 hour, 2 hour, I don't know. So yeah, we were able to
Yeah.
set up a Shorebird for Newly app, and then we were able to push it on the boat store. So yeah, cool. So we have this, and I think they won't be showing installed directly here because it takes some time to like get it into the analytics. So yeah, yep.
And now it's our responsibility to also create an APK using
Yeah.
the short command and put it in Play Store and
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is next, since it is going to be pushed, I'll just so we fix that, right? And I think I have not pushed the Shorebird code there, so I'll just push it for now. But then I have to, in order to make this upload on both store, I need to integrate this Shorebird into my CI as well. And I think if we get a good response from this video, like if really user want to integrate Shorebird in the CI itself, I think we can create another video where we integrate that Shorebird into the existing CI flow. So we have already a CI flow here for Android deploy and iOS deploy. And if we want to integrate Shorebird, then we can do it here. Yeah, definitely. Cool. I think the best way to like I'll just create a note out of it so that I'll just use what we did here. So first what we did is we installed Shorebird, and then we create a release from Shorebird, and then we release both to both app stores manually, and for iOS we use transporter, and then we merge a PR with a bug fix, and then we release a patch, and we download it in the real device, right? So this is what we did. Cool. And everything was done locally. I mean, there was no CI involved there. So yeah, any closing thoughts?
Nope. I think for building a new app or building business until medium scale, this is great to
Yeah.
make sure that every single user is happy. You can fix things immediately, but as you go large, and I hope you make revenue and you can pay for the paid tiers. This is certainly helpful. I do not know whether fintech apps in India can use it or not. We can discuss with the team, with the Shorebird team, but this is pretty good to have.
Yeah.
I would really like to publish these last minute patches like this instead of going through Play Store.
Yeah.
It does take a lot of this and be very helpful for any business. Yes.
Yep. And like we are like living in a startup world where like there are every new startup coming in every few weeks or every few months, and everyone is prototyping, everyone is like building apps and experimenting side project and all of this thing. So I think we are like in a very fast paced world where we want to ship things very fast. I actually wrote a whole blog post on how startups should ship fast, but the thing is that we want quick result, we want quick feedback, and we don't want to get stuck in the processes and all those things. So in that sense, this is very useful. because now you don't have to worry about that. Oh, once this bug is there, then we have to think about backward compatibility. There would be impact on the user and all that stuff. So if you are shipping it fast, then I think this is really helpful, because like you can fix things very quickly, like in the web, mostly like in the web. So yeah, you still have some limitation, but if you have a control over Dart code, still you can manage those fixes, which is what I believe in. So yeah, cool. So
Share.
so I think if I think we were so the good thing is like we were able to do it in the first attempt. So usually it won't work that way. So yeah, just to add, if anyone is interested, I also run effective Flutter Dev classes on a weekend. So if anyone is at a beginner level and want to advance their skill set as a Flutter Dev, you can check this out. And yeah, and definitely, I mean, if you like this video, then please like, share, and subscribe. So yeah, thank you for taking your time to watch this video, and hope to see you in next one. And thank you, Sanni, for being part of this, because like helping hand is really helpful in this. So yeah, thank you everyone, and see you. Bye.